Welcome, everyone. We have a very special announcement that I know you are not going to want to miss. So let's get started.
Empowering women on a global scale. Welcome to Powerful Women Today with Carolina Billings. Powerful Women Today is on a mission of inclusion, rewriting his story to include her story, and empowering, raising, and amplifying women's voices with professional speaking, publishing, original podcasting, and web TV. And now here's your host, the founder of Powerful Women Today, Carolina Billings.
Welcome, Stacy. We are here to speak of something that's been so long in the making. We are so excited to be launching our Empowerment Circle series, and one of the most important ones, in my opinion. I mean, they're all important, but speaking to deliver your message's gotta be right up there. So, of course, we have our incredible mentor expert, Stacy Hall, who is a sought after speaker, TEDx, bestseller author. If you want anything said, you want her to be saying it with you. Welcome, Stacy.
Oh, Carolina, thank you. I don't think I've ever been introduced that way before. And it is important for me. That's part of my legacy that I want to leave, is to make it easy for people to get out of their self, out of their head, into their heart, and get that message out to the world, whatever that message is that they want to share.
Well, you have one of the things that in today's day is got to be the biggest currency ever, and that is engagement and following. That's two things: engagement and following, right? Like, you can have gazillion followers, which are not yours, by the way. We're going to talk about that. But as a thought leader, as an influence, as a business influencer, because that's the kind of influencing we hope to do, you can have all the followers in the world, but if they're not engaging, if they are not, following the brand and following your message and actually converting action, right? It's not always about money, but it's like, participating, then it's kind of like, what is it that you're leading, right?
Yes. Well, and that's the mark of somebody who can speak from their heart, because there's a difference between teaching, preaching, and speaking, in my opinion.
I love that.
Well,
I'm like taking that one. Yes.
Well, teachers are there's not a big difference between teachers and preachers. I'll explain. It's a small, distinct difference. A teacher is imparting knowledge, which is true, very factual knowledge, in a way that they expect other people to remember it and recite it back. And I say that because sometimes that kind of presentation is important. If you're leading a workshop, it's important to be able to communicate in a way that teaches other people how to do something. But in a keynote presentation, not so much. That would be very boring, dry, and not move anyone in the room. Then there's preaching, and that's where somebody's very, very passionate about whatever they're talking about, and pretty much demands that their audience feel the same way that they do, right? So teaching, preaching, and neither one of those, you can say that they get engagement. What they get is answers. They get answers, but that's not exactly full-fledged engagement with an audience. And then there are speakers who present ideas and present them as their ideas, and inviting people to come along with them if they so choose, giving people the choice rather than the requirement. And when people have choice, then they start asking questions and they get involved if they want to, or they leave. But those who stay are involved. because they were invited to be so. So I hope that
So
made
you
sense.
kind of awaken their curiosity, right? And you do a lot of TED. You're an experienced TEDx presenter. You do TEDx training, and we go back to that ideas worth sharing, right? And
Yes.
it's something about sharing that. Have you guys considered, right? Or I came across is very conversational in nature, and there's got a little bit of an element of entertainment without making it a show.
It's storytelling at its finest. Is here's an experience I had. This is the longer it went on, this did not really work for me. So
Mhm,
I explored, or somebody told me, and something shifted and changed. And now here's where I'm at on the other side. That's a story. People love
mhm,
to hear stories. And yes, all great stories have morals in them, or fables,
mhm,
or an
mhm,
end, right? And we're free to choose whether we want to accept that ending or
mhm.
not. And that's
Love
it.
it.
Entertainment.
I love it because you know what is in social media. I think that is one of the things that, in my opinion, a lot of thought leaders and a lot of entrepreneurs, and professional service providers get it a little bit wrong because it becomes about advertising and not about the social medium of entertainment, right? Because if you got them laughing, if you got and I understand not every topic is worthy or is right, to be making fun of and humorous, but there is the humanity, the entertainment, the storytelling, which is what you're leading, and you've been training speakers, successful speakers, because anybody can train a speaker.
And they do.
And they do. You have been training successful speakers for, well, we're not going to say how long, but let's just say that you are an elite in in your category. Like, is you know I have seen I've seen some of the before and after people that have come to you before, and then they've gone through your training, and the difference is palpable. The confidence, the fluidity, and just the stage presence, right? And when we say stage, it's not just live stages. Those are still not fully back, but we're saying any stage.
Any stage. Any stage. And the confidence, all that it requires, and I say that tongue in cheek because people like, oh, all it takes is confidence. It's like
All
that,
it
yes,
takes.
that is the biggest struggle. I get it. When we understand the our topic, and I'm hesitated because, well, of course we would understand our topic, but no, that's not really true. I have found that so many folks, when they think about speaking, the first thing they think about is, what do people want to hear?
Mm,
No, that's not the place to begin. The
mhm,
place to begin is, what am I passionate about sharing?
mhm,
That's where it has to begin. And from there, confidence is a hop, skip, and a jump instead of miles down the road,
mhm,
because there's an easy way to format a presentation. Really easy to format it so that you can bring people along with you for the ride. And
mhm,
when you know how to plug what you want to say into that format, you could say it's not actually a script, because I'm not teaching people what to say.
mhm,
I'm teaching people in what order to say it.
mm. And how to say it.
Well, well, there are words. There are words that most, I'm just going to say, most people who speak a language
Mhm,
don't realize that there are words that are triggers in a good way, that there are words that are triggers that will tune people right out of your presentation if you use them. And they're the most common words you could ever imagine, like the word try. So people say, just try to imagine. Try
like
means,
Yoda, do or don't do.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's no
it's,
try or something like that.
yeah. when we hear the word try, and this is in the English world, but
Mhm.
maybe it's true in other languages. When we hear the word try, we think immediately about all the times we tried and failed. That's what the
Oh,
word
okay.
try does. So if we know how to craft what we want to say using words that keep people with us, not
Mhm.
be manipulative. See, I can't say the word
Yeah,
because I
it's their
refuse to do it.
attention and their attention and their emotion. Their and
That's
not emotion from a manipulation, but their emotion from a connection, from a
it,
humanity standpoint.
from humanity standpoint, from heart to
Mhm.
heart, which cannot be manipulated. This definitely can be manipulated. Yes, words do trigger mental pictures, but there
Mhm.
is a way to be able to trigger mental pictures from the heart. And that's what I love to help people be able to do. And then it becomes so fun to get on the stage because we feel in alignment with ourselves, we feel in alignment with our audience. And that is felt, that energy is felt. And folks who can do that, they get asked back over and
Mhm.
over again to speak.
Yeah, it's to be able to transfer the magic, right, and the passion. So the empowerment circles are, you and I are co, facilitators, and so is every leader with, that is leading an empowerment circle. And I am so excited about them because one of the things is that they are niche focused. In this case, it happens that Stacy's, speaking and presenting and getting that value transfer, right, from the presenter to the audience is her cup of tea. But our empowerment circles come in all flavors and in all modalities and in functionality. But what I am most excited about is because when you want to get better at something, right, one of the most fun and surest way to do it is to become immersed in it, for it to become part of your everyday life, from language to being a student, to being a professional, to be whatever you want to be, whatever you want to solve. The minute that you make it your everyday, is in your, becomes part of your DNA, that is when you become really good at it, right? And
Yes.
so being part of Stacy's monetizing your message empowerment circle is, is about seeing yourself as a speaker. I am a speaker, right? In just the minute you embrace it, it's like I am an author and I am a researcher and I am whatever you like to be, right? The minute you claim it, in the minute you say, I am a TEDx presenter, caliber kind of speaker, right? Is almost manifesting it, isn't it?
Well, it gets us closer. And I'm going to say that because we've all heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. And that's not what Carolina is speaking here. I know because we've talked about this and it can be heard that way. The difference is saying, I'm going to be a speaker keeps us always in the place of going to be
Mm-hmm.
versus I am a speaker and I have a few details to work out.
That's right.
Keeps us here actively developing our speaking career. And that is what I want to call it. It's we're not speaking just to be speaking. We're developing a career as a speaker that goes along with the other aspects of what we're doing in our business. So whether it's social media posting or it's writing a book or it's being a podcast host or guest, these are all elements of our business. Our speaking career is like a department unto itself as part of the whole of our business. So the
That's right.
sooner we declare, I am a speaker, the faster we will start developing that part of our business. Yes,
Or we
Caroline.
take it one step farther and go, I am a successful speaker.
That's
So
right.
when we say monetizing speaking, we want to be clear. There's many ways that when we think of, right, the traditional ways to think to get paid to speak. And funny enough, that's the least or lowest way, the lowest quantity of money that
Least common.
most people will earn, like getting paid to speak, right? So it's really about having the ability to present. And it's not just in like stages, anything is a stage. An elevator can be a stage if you're speaking to the right person in the elevator, right? And you are articulate and you know how to deliver your message. So it's not just about, oh, I need to, speak in front of 1,000 people in order for me to be a professional speaker.
Yes. Well, TEDx stages and are prestigious stages. You don't get paid anything for that. And yet, it's a wonderful way to catapult your business to get paid in other ways.
Mhm.
And usually at a TEDx event, it's very small. I mean, you're not a TED event. Like
It's
if you get
intimate.
invited to 10, you're
Mhm.
talking to, millions of people some
Mhm.
in person, some through the world. At TEDx, you have the ability to influence lots of people. The actual audience is very small. And then it's up to you to utilize that information, that presentation, to turn it into something. So, yes, it is possible as well to record a webinar without any audience. You just go on Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, and you speak to the camera with no audience,
Mhm.
sharing what you want to share. And then you have a variety of ways you can get that out to make money from that presentation. So that's the other part is if you've got something to say and you can say it out loud, nobody says you have to have an audience anymore to get it out there. There are lots and lots of ways to.
Oh God, yeah, like TikTok, like all those shorts and like there's, it's never been easier to make a mistake and it's never been easier to reach your audience. And that's why, putting thought and effort to it, because a bad idea online is just a bad idea online seen by that many more people. So training for it and polishing your everything is paramount.
Yeah.
So your empowerment circle's coming up, right?
Yes.
The launch of it is February 15th at 1 o'clock Eastern. So
Yes.
what happens during that day, and what can someone expect?
All right. Well, as you say, it's a launch because after that one, we're going to go private. Anybody who wants to be part of Powerful Women Today at the Empowerment Circle level will have access to this circle if they want. We want to introduce the concept
Mhm.
of coming together in a community with everyone focused on the same topic, meaning the topic is speaking in visibility and how it can help you make more money in your business. That's the topic. I'm going to be presenting 4 elements of speaking during this launch that anybody, whether you're brand new and your knees knocked together when you feel, when you think about speaking, or you've been on stages and you're saying to yourself, I don't need this because I am already a great speaker. If it's whatever spectrum you're at, this end or this end, what we're going to talk about during this Empowerment Circle launch is going to speak to all of you,
Right.
wherever you are. Primarily, we're going to be talking about the newest ways to get your message out in the world and be able to monetize your message.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? Technology is changing daily. And there's so much that goes into a presentation, right? So to think that you've arrived is usually, you know, not a good thing. But
I'm gonna, if I can, just very quickly,
yeah.
I was one when I said that, I was one of those people who said, I got it. I mean, I was speaking at the National Speakers Association convention, right? Speaking to speakers. So, I mean, that's about as high a praise as you can when you're selected to speak to other professional speakers.
Right.
So I thought I had, in my own self, I thought I was all that in a bag of chips. And then the world changed right after it. Social, what happened?
Mhm.
Things shut down. And I really, if I wanted to keep making money and get my message out there, because listen, folks, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make a change in the world in a positive way. and also be paid for doing that because we are contributing to the world.
Absolutely.
Well, it meant discovering new avenues. Some I actually created them myself, and others I found ways to collaborate and get on stages. So that's why I said what I said. I am as guilty of being, I've got it all handled. And then the world has a way of changing.
You know what there is no better way, especially in the world of diversity, inclusion, and uniqueness in your differentiator. Because, even with books, somebody else can write your book. Social media, somebody else can be writing your social media. But speaking, unless we've gotten into full AI mode, it's just you, right? It's your message, it's your passion, it's your connection with your audience. And it doesn't get more true, more authentic, and more real than that. So I hope you join us. I am so looking forward to it. And it's open to everyone, men and women. And, it doesn't matter your level of expertise. So we'll put the link below to register. And let's just give it a go. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you on the 15th. Take care, everyone.
Empowering women on a global scale. This has been Powerful Women Today with Carolina Billings. To learn more about how you can join and transform your life and the lives of women everywhere with professional speaking, publishing, podcasting, and web TV, visit powerfulwomentoday.com. Remember to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you like to listen and watch your podcast.